for the boys.
Woo! Oh, I fucked.
My dear friend, where have you been? Where have you gone? Where did you win? Someone there, are you listening? Is it too late? My dear friend, we felt the sunshine, we found the gold. We thought we'd be forever young, but now I know we can't keep floating, we have to fall. This is the beat of broken hearts, is it all lost?
So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're wondering why I'm using this lens again, because that fisheye that I usually use is completely trashed, so I'm gonna have to save up for this other lens that I want. Unfortunately, this one does the job. Like I said, I'm just not a big fan of being zoomed in as much all the time. So a lot of you guys have been asking a lot about this Civic, because this video is still going up in views, because my videos average like 1,000 to 2,000 views a video, and that one's at I think going on 6,000 already and still climbing steadily. I do plan on putting the Z6 in here. There's a few things I want to do to it beforehand. I want to not rush it to make it the daily, because I don't want to have a beat up car. It still needs all the bushings. It needs ball joints upper and lower. It needs inner and outer tie rods. It needs suspension. So essentially, long story short, I think I'm going to just be swapping everything from the Del Sol over to it. Now that my brother's back here in Arizona, I want to put the B20 VTEC in the Del Sol, teach him how to do that. But at the same time, I kind of want to do the Del Sol right, because I really like the car as much as a lot of you guys don't. Del Sols are probably one of my favorite little Hondas, so I'm gonna make sure to do it right. So I'm gonna put the coils, the cheap coils that are on that, onto the EG. I'm gonna save up for probably the same coils I got on the DA. If not, I'll hit up K-Tune, see if they'll give me a price on those too. But the B20 VTEC is going in that. The Z6 is going in the Civic, but yeah, it needs some work beforehand. So I did do a few things off camera over the last couple days that I probably should have filmed, but I just didn't really think of it. So one of them was I power washed the engine bay. Still kind of dirty, because a lot of it I realized is spray paint. The car has been touched up here and there with spray paint before, but it still looks pretty good. I got to touch up by the battery tray and whatnot. And then I also went ahead and rewrapped the engine harness. I'll show you that here in a second too. And now today, I'm probably going to try and get the smell of cat piss out of the interior, and I'm going to try and clean up the Integra, because it's been raining the last few days. And if I hadn't mentioned to you guys before, my brother's a professional detailer, so he's got all sorts of fancy equipment, and I'm going to start working with him here on the side, doing some extra jobs, and he's going to teach me a little bit today. So we're going to test on my car. So here's the engine bay as it sits. Really not in bad shape. I mean, you can see down here, obviously it's trashed from years of battery acid leakage and whatnot, but all in all, it's really not that bad. I'm sure I could still scrub in there and scrub up there, and then take a spray can to all this and whatnot, which I probably will do. I'll probably retouch it up. I don't really feel like ripping everything off the firewall to respray it any other color. But yeah, I still got my weld there. I gotta go get a piece of plate steel, like a little piece of plate steel, so that way I can just connect this, give it some more structural integrity. Other than that, not really worried about that. And then let me go show you the harness really quick. So I didn't do anything crazy to the harness. I literally just cleaned it up and rewrapped it. So here we go. So it's all fresh, it's all more clearly organized. I still gotta hit the junkyard, because I still need to get a hold of the ECT sensor. For whatever reason, whoever did the D15 swap in it cut this, so there's no engine temp. But yeah, easy fix. Splice that in, all will be well. As for motor mounts, those motor mounts are completely shot, completely torn. So I'm gonna just have to grab some from work, which won't be an issue. And yeah, we finally got this stupid truck running that we had picked up from our brother. Different story. But yeah, so not really working on the Civic today. Don't really have much going on with it. Maybe pick up a can of spray paint and try and touch up the bay a little bit, but that's about it. So I got along to polishing 2 of these wheels. Just a little comparison for you guys that may have a preference. Let me show you. White Diamond is here on the left, and Mother's Polish is on the right. So, shine, no shine.
He's just knocking on my shit. White Diamond polish.
Spoiled by K-Tune.
Spoiled by K-Tune.
I pay for all my crap. I just get a discount.
Yeah, a ridiculous 90% off discount plus a free haircut.
That was only on the traction bar. Which I didn't tell you guys, traction bar will be here on Tuesday, so we can put that in, then we can put my alternator relocation kit in as well, that I tried to put in when I did the swap, but quickly found out you can't use it on this factory subframe. So it'll be nice to get rid of that big old heavy subframe, and because it's ugly since I hacked it all up trying to fit my B-Series header. And obviously no more wheel hop, so that'll be nice. So I know it doesn't look like much because the trunk is dirty regardless. Like I said, it's been raining. But you can see clearly, even in this light, that this half of the trunk is like really blue and the other half is really not. So it's essentially, I don't know, some all-in-one compound that this guy has. So I'm gonna be using the same crap on the DA, seeing how it turns out. Obviously it's not the same type of paint that's on the single stage. This is factory, like, I don't know, 3-4 stage paint, whatever they do there. So it's not going to be the same, and obviously white's not going to turn out the same as like a primary color like this would. It's not going to be as noticeable of a difference, but it will still be very clean. And the car right now is very dirty, so any improvement is progress. So I'm going to wash it off quick, rinse it all down, get all the dirt and debris off it, and then I don't really think I have to clay bar it, but like all these little scratches, swirl marks that are all over the spoiler and stuff from using my microfibers and quick polish, this compound is apparently going to fill all that. So
No, it does not fill it. It actually totally gets rid of it. It corrects it. It does not fill it. It has no glaze in it whatsoever.
well, there you go. So I'll set you guys up here on a time lapse, and we'll see this work. Finally picked up a pressure washer, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use some of this just generic Rain-X car wash stuff that we had laying around, and at least try and get some suds for you guys. Use like this foam cannon on this built-in doohickey. Oh. So this Rain-X, I'm assuming it's supposed to make it so stuff doesn't stick to the car then? Like slippery? Yeah, that usually works. Overflow. Oh no. Whew. Well.
We're not the winners. We don't even have a clue. We don't even have a clue. Darling, we spin around.
Never knew a Steve cleaner would clean your engine bay, but now you know. I just got done washing the Integra. I'm gonna let it drip dry here for a moment, and then break out the buffer and the compound. I don't really know what it's called. So aesthetically pleasing to wash. So my brother just walked me through the first little part of the hood on how to use his fancy buffer. I don't know, it's like what?
Dual action polisher.
Dual action polisher. And then he's got, the compound he's using technically isn't on the market yet, so there is no name. So I'm gonna just go through and time lapse this because it's gonna take a while, and I'm gonna just give it the old college try and see how this turns out. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but the left side here, the left of the dent right here is polished. This is not, so very reflective, not as reflective. So because it is a white car and like I said, it's just single stage, there's not an actual clear coat like layered on it, it's not gonna have the same shine as when I clean up the Del Sol. But it's definitely a noticeable difference. At least in person, it's a bit more noticeable than on camera. So, set you guys up, I'll go over it, and we'll see what we can do to it.
We're not the winners, the losers, the beggars. We don't even have a plan.
So since I know I don't want to time lapse the whole car and it's hard to see, like I said, because of the white and because it's in the shade right now, I'm going to do the wing really quick, and being that it's carbon fiber, you're going to be able to tell a lot more. Even just looking at it right now, I can see fine scratches from like my cheap microfiber towels. So I'll film this one and then I'll just update you guys when I'm done with the car, but I want to see the progression, at least on camera, for the spoiler. It's going to look good. Alright, this spoiler looks absolutely mint now. I am very stoked. And all my little scratches are gone too. Alright, so car's all done. It's been done for a couple hours now. I just went and ran some errands and such. So it definitely looks much better. It's really hard to tell on the camera though, just because of obviously it being a white car, and the lighting does not help. In person, it's definitely much more reflective, and just all the little like hand wiping scratches are all gone. So now that that's taken care of, I still gotta mess with this one. I just gotta use a different compound, so I gotta wait for my brother to teach me how to do that. It's like a 3-step process, whereas this is just a 1-step. So right now I'm gonna go get some stuff for this. I'm gonna get a can of red spray paint so I can clean up back there by the battery box and touch that up, try and touch these scuff marks up, and then I'm gonna have to put the wheels on so I can move this car, roll this out a little bit so I can get the doors open, so I can pop the fenders off, so that way I can start tucking the headlight harnesses and such. And then I will be running by Home Depot quick too, because like I said, with this weld, that bottom bracket, that's all in place now, but I also need to make a center piece right here, and then I also need to make a piece that goes across. So these little sections here, I'm probably going to end up trimming out right here and right here, and then doing a piece that comes across to the middle section, and then obviously across. So it's just tees, and then it'll be much more rigid, and I won't have to worry about it, and everything will still fit up fine because nothing bolts up here anymore, and this is super flimsy as is, as you can see. So yeah, here we go, onward to Walmart and to Home Depot. Alright, so back from Home Depot now. Got some, what is this, gloss apple red. It's not going to be the same shade of red, but I can always wet sand it, kind of dumb it down a bit. I got some thicker welding wire, so hopefully this fixes my issue, and some steel. So yeah, 30 bucks down the drain just for 3 little things. So now I'm gonna just measure this up quick and just kind of give it my best guess, because I don't really fully know how I'm gonna go about this, but I'll figure it out, and then I will get to touching up the bay, just giving it a quick like sand, and then get rid of that rust that's over there in the corner, and paint it. So. Alright, well the wire seems to be actually feeding through a lot better now, so that's good. I did have 30 mil or whatever, 30 gauge, whatever it's called, and I just put in 35, which is I think what I'm supposed to have in here. I totally just newbie mistake. The welder at work, my coworker sets it up for me and I just weld, so I guess I'm spoiled. I gotta learn myself anyway. So this is good practice. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of try and give it a few tacks on that other piece, get my settings right, or as close to them as I can, I suppose, and then go ahead and measure up this piece and start welding. I gotta trim that center section off because I can't completely unbolt it because there's spot welds. I don't feel like drilling those out, so I'll just use it as a base to tack to. Ooh, that's hot. Alright, so it's welded in place here. I'm having a hard time getting beads using the low setting, so it's just a bunch of bird poop everywhere. But I did start to get a bead on the high setting. So still looks like bird poop, especially compared to my normal welds. I promise they're much prettier. Go look on my Instagram. But yeah, so that ain't going anywhere. So now that that's good, I'm gonna let this cool down, and then I'm gonna just touch it up with some paint. That way it doesn't rust, because this one already started to rust and it's just been sitting here for a couple of days. So I do gotta say though that doing this by myself, even using a cheap crappy welder, it just feels so much better being able to fix something like this myself. Yeah, it'd probably be better just get a core support and weld that back on with a spot welder, but you know, this is the next best thing. Give it a little bit of a primer, rust protector, and that way the paint has something to stick to instead of just raw metal. It ain't perfect, but you know what? It'll work. I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna give it a second coat just in case, because it is the front end. It is gonna see a lot of road debris, so stuff may get in there and chip it off. So 2 coats, call it good. Yeah, and then yeah, it is a bit of a bright red compared to the rest of the engine bay, but you know what? Just gonna send it. So going through all the footage just now, I realized that I have a lot of footage already, so I'm going to end this video here, and we will pick up where I'm going to touch up the engine bay. I'm going to at least get it like slightly prepped for the paint, so that way I can, I don't know, I'll figure it out, whatever. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to turn on post notifications, stick around, because hopefully I'll be able to get some money in quickly. I got some jobs coming up, hopefully, if I'm lucky, and get some bushings and stuff ordered for this. And if any of you guys have an EG AC kit for this for cheap that works, let me know, and I'll try and get it from you. But other than that, guys, do what you love, forget about the rest, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.